Live in the studio now is the Assistant Defence Minister Matt Thistlethwaite. A few big developments today. Let's start with the Coalition. They're going to wave through the tax changes. After trying to move some amendments, they're going to come back with their own proposals after looking at the numbers more closely. Do you welcome that?
I certainly welcome them agreeing to Labor's tax plan, Kieran. This will mean that 13.5 million Australians will get a tax cut on the 1st of July, and it's a sensible decision. From the beginning, our measures have been about providing cost of living relief for Australians, and we modified their plan to make sure that more Australians got a tax cut and get that relief that they so deserve and need on July 1.
Is the electorate forgiving the Prime Minister the broken promise because of the money in the hip pocket? Is that what we're seeing here?
I think the electorate is actually supportive of what the Prime Minister's done, because so many Australians have been struggling with cost of living. And when your family's under pressure, your household's under pressure, you want to know that a Prime Minister and a government is listening to your concerns, and that's exactly what we've done. We've listened and we've changed that policy to make sure that more Australians get that relief. And on that basis, I think that's why you've seen in some of the polls, like Newspoll the other day, that the majority of Australians are overwhelmingly supportive of what we're doing. Some
of your party sources told me that the internal polling had it at 66% support, a little bit more than Newspoll, but there was stronger support in the regions and rural areas than the cities. So areas where the Voice didn't do well at all, this tax change is going down well. Is that encouraging?
It is, and it makes sense. When you look at the demographic data that the ABS put out in the census, you see that a lot of those lower socioeconomic areas where people are on lower incomes are in rural and regional Australia. So that's why it would have been crazy for the National Party to resist what Labor is proposing, because it's their people that would have been suffering if they had have tried to block it.
We've been talking a lot about the thaw in relations with China, if we turn our attention to that issue now, and Australian citizen Young Hen Jun receiving a suspended death sentence. How damaging is this to relations with Beijing?
It's an appalling decision, and it's something that the government is strongly opposed to, and we will do our utmost. And the Prime Minister Penny Wong certainly reiterated that to the Chinese government officials here in Australia, that we believe it's an excessive sentence, it's unreasonable, and that we'll do as much as we can to try and to have that sentence reduced.
Is there a risk it derails the whole thing, the whole rapprochement?
Look, I think that the great thing about this government has been that that relationship has been stabilised once again, and that allows you to have a sensible dialogue. And it meant that we have been able to get some results with Chung Lei being released. This decision is disappointing, but because the relationship has stabilised, I think that it means that there is ongoing dialogue that can be had in a sensible, mature manner, and hopefully that can produce results.
So the government's not giving up on Dr.
Certainly not giving up on this Australian citizen at all.
Okay, Matt Thistlethwaite, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kieran.
Talk to you soon.